going on, y'all? The reviewer is here, and I'm back to give y'all this video on this topic. I've been trying to find time to make this music topic for a while now because I was looking at a lot of other people's videos of their perspective and many things about how the rap industry is pretty much done for. And that's the $1 million question that I've been asking myself for a long time now. Because y'all know I've been doing reviews for years, and I was thinking about this with the rap industry nowadays on how horrible it became. And then this is just my opinion. I mean, I'm really, when it comes to listening to music, I'm a pretty fair individual, man. When it comes to listening to rap music or just music in general, I don't just listen to music for 2 seconds and say, oh, I don't like it. No, I actually take the time out and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And I know how some people is saying, because, you know, I pay attention to a lot of content creators' channels on how they feel like the rap industry is dead or is done for. It's over. No one's really buying music like that anymore unless you're dependent on the streams. And that's the streams. I'm going to talk a little about that, but I'm not going to really get into depth with it until later. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get in full depth with it and explain how I feel streams is really messing up the industry. But do I think the rap game or the rap industry is done for? I will say no. But I also will say I feel like the rap industry is on its last leg when it comes to, you know, with talent and all that stuff, man. Because honestly, a lot of the rappers today is mainly depending on the streams. And as an artist myself, I do have music on the streams, but I'm not totally depending on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting a lot of money to come out of that type of deal. And that's what a lot of artists need to start doing. I don't think the streams is a really good answer when it comes to making music. If you really, for any artist that's coming up in the game, if you really want to make your money off your music, I don't think you should depend on the streams. And I don't want to sound like I'm hard, I don't want to sound like I'm being old school with it, but I think you really need to go out and promote your music and become independent. I really believe this is the best way. If you want to really make money off of your music, that's kind of the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you really trying to make money off of it. If you're doing it for fun and, you know, you just do it because you love it, then it may be a different story. But the reason why I say the rap industry is on its last leg is because I gotta go to the audience. You know, the audience is the people, is the consumers that's really going to decide whether your music is worth buying or not. You know, I remember back in the 90s where there was no such thing as streams. There was only bootleggers out there that may be out there and try to copy your music and try to sell it their way. But you can't, there's no online stuff because the only way they can do it is have one of those stores or be on a corner selling your music. And that's how a lot of cats get they behind with. You know, that to me, that was even worse than today. If someone was bootlegging your music, it's one thing that, yeah, they finally know about you. At the same time, they're taking the money from you. So that's when bootleg at that time was a serious issue when it came to that. But I can go back to when I think the rap industry was falling off. The times that I think the rap industry was falling off, I can say probably in the year 2006 or 7. I think that's when Soulja Boy came out. And no disrespect to him, because I'm going to say something about that. I feel like the time when Soulja Boy came out with that Crank That Soulja Boy, that's when the rap game started falling off. Now, it started falling off back, I'll say the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? But Soulja Boy coined it in a way of like the verification of the rap game falling off. Now, I will say this about Soulja Boy, and I'm not here to disrespect him in any way, shape, or form. I will give him respect for being one of the first rapper to make a hit off of YouTube, because I think that's where his song originated. It originated on YouTube, and then it started getting more views and recognition by other people, and I'm going to say specifically the children, the kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he got his name out there. So that's one thing that I can respect about Soulja Boy. He did make a hit off of YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, he's probably one of the first rapper to ever do it. All right, and then many others followed behind him and started making the same type of songs that he was making. But if y'all remember me at that time, because I used to make videos, I used to make videos back in 2006, 2007, straight up. Like I was making videos back then, and at that time I was kind of hardcore. So I wish I can have, I don't know if I even have those videos. I have to look it up or something. But anyway, at that time I was extremely bitter, because I was like, how would this guy with no talent like that, the beat is just straight up basic, and they're coming out with freaking platinum hits. I was just so confused of how the rap game had become, and I was pissed, man. My brother would tell you I was extremely bitter, you know, with all this crap that was coming out around that time frame. But I really feel like the rap game started falling off in early 2000s, and I don't think down south artists had anything to do with it. I just think it had something to do with the music that was coming from down south. You know what I'm saying? So we still had some hard rappers or hard lyricists from down south, but it was just the artists that they decide to put out there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it started falling off then. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you the last time that I ever bought a physical copy of a CD, and I'm not talking about the underground rappers or anything like that. I ain't talking about the underground. I'm talking about mainstream artists. I think the last mainstream artist that I ever purchased a CD was either that J. Cole, the Forest Drive album. I think that's what it's called. It was either that album or the Big Crit Cadillactica. I think that was the last album that I bought that was mainstream. That was probably like in 2014, 2015. That was the last mainstream album that I ever bought, like a CD. And I remember I did bought an Iggy Azalea album. This was years ago too, that because I thought she was okay, because I remember the song called Fancy, and I thought it was nice. But when I listened to the album, I was like, nah, this ain't it. And the thing was this, man. The rap game, I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it is. I think if we really want to show these weird record labels that we have the power to get away from the streams and stuff like that, I feel like it can come back. If we really put our foot down and say, you know what, forget the streams, we're not going to put none of our music on there. We're going to either sell it through CDs or cassette tapes, or however, you know, you can buy it, you know, a download of it or whatever. We really have to put our foots down though, because from the way it's looking, it's 2025 now, right? By 2030 to 2035, people ain't gonna really know what rap music is anymore. Because you gotta think, this is a new era. You know, us millennials, we're gonna be speaking more to the younger kids, the younger crowds, the younger generations, even the Gen X. We're gonna be speaking to the younger generations about music that we grew up to. Shoot, I be telling my kids, my boys all the time, man, like the music that y'all hear today, man, is absolutely crap, in my opinion. But I can't get too upset with the younger generation growing up to the music that we feel is garbage though. I can't get mad at that because they don't understand. They don't understand what it was like when artists used to really put their heart and soul, like really put they bleed on the track. We're not going to really get that type of content anymore when it comes to rap music. Maybe they're out there and I haven't heard it yet, and I'm talking about today's modern rap music. Maybe they're out there, but every time that I listen to a track, because I do take the time out to listen to the radio. Every time I listen to a song, a new rap song, it's like I don't hear it. I don't hear the real content, the real substance of really putting their all on the track. I just don't hear it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I can give one track an example of how I know they put their heart and soul on a song. I can list plenty of them. And I can tell you one prime example that I feel this is probably one of my favorite songs ever. And y'all know who he is. I feel like the Scarface I Seen a Man Die is probably one of my favorite tracks ever. And the crazy part was, it didn't even have a hook. The video about it was real. The lyrics on there was real. I mean, the beat, everything. That has to be one of my personal favorite songs ever, because you can almost visualize what Scarface is rapping about. And I always ask people, can you give me a song that's almost relatable to that? And they cannot do it. I mean, this song, it's to the point it gives me chills bumps to this day, or goosebumps. It gives me it to this day. Every time I listen to it, it gives me goosebumps to this day. You know what I'm saying? That, like I said, that's just an example. There's plenty of the songs that I listen to and I really feel it. But I don't hear that from today's artists. And that's why a lot of people, a lot of content creators say that the rap game is over. And I don't feel like it's over yet, but it's going to be. That's why I do a lot of reviews of the older albums. Y'all know this. I rarely do newer albums unless they're underground. You know what I'm saying? And I think it should be brought out to light. But you most likely, there's a 98% chance that you will never see me review a newer artist's album. It's a 98% chance you won't, because when I listen to, because I listen to newer artists sometimes. Like I play the radio on the Apple Music sometimes, and it plays random music, whatever plays, and I listen to some of them, and it's just I'm not feeling it. And then you got some of the guys or some of the artists that's you can tell that they're Memphis influenced by Memphis rap, and it just don't sound right. It's like they try too hard to duplicate the sound, and they wind up failing. You know, I'm not going to list anybody, but that's what I get to when I hear some of the funk music, PHONK. And I don't know, man. I really believe the rap game will be pretty much diminished in the 2030s if we live to see that year frame. I really believe it's going to be gone if this keeps going on like this. If we as artists slash rappers don't understand the concept of realizing that we gotta stop giving these record labels the power. Because you gotta think, there's not too much independent labels out there like that anymore. It's everybody out there for themselves, and everybody just want to be solo. And I'm including myself too. But we still have to collaborate and get together and understand that the streams is not it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the streams, and I want y'all to understand. If you know how the streams work, you know that the record label gets most of that. Remember, Snoop Dogg, I remember Snoop Dogg said on a video that one of his albums, or him in general, I think he had got like over billions of streams. I think now, I could be wrong, but I know it was over 1 million. I know he got millions of streams, and he only wind up getting $40,000. Only $40,000. Now, some people might be like, man, that's a lot of money. But if you look at how many streams he has got, $40,000 really isn't nothing, or it's not much. It's not much to brag about. That right there should have tell everybody that's making music that the streams are not it. It's not. And this is coming from a person that listened to streams himself. But I still have thousands of albums, thousands of mixtapes that I got downloaded that I can still listen to this day if I want to. So if they take the streams away, it really wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me because I got thousands of albums I can listen to. So with that being said, we got to understand, we have the power. We are the sellers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about as artists, as rappers. We are the sellers. We don't have to go to a record label or these weird malicious record labels that out to get you for your money, and you're just pretty much assed out with nothing. You know, we have the power to say, you know what, forget the streams, y'all gonna have to buy it from me, directly. And hey, it may not work for a little while, but once the streams realize, or the people that's in control of it, they realize that it's not getting the money anymore, guess what's going to happen? They're going to shut down eventually. You know what I'm saying? So for the people saying that the rap game is over, I wouldn't say it's over yet. But it is getting there. It's getting there. It's getting to the point where and sooner or later, man, there's going to be a new breed of younger kids coming up in the game. You know, you got the Gen Zs, and then I guess now you have the Gen Alphas that's coming out. The Gen Alphas, I think they're born after 2012. All right, so now you got the Gen Alphas now that's 10 years old plus. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be coming up, and they ain't going to most of them probably ain't going to have a clue what the rap game is. Or was. They won't have a clue. And as a person that likes rhythm and poetry, I believe that's what rap stands for. It's like it's going to be another genre of the past. Now, there'll still be R&B, there'll still be country music, rock and roll, and alternative, that type of stuff. But I think rap music is probably one of the only few genres that's going to fade in the wind, if we don't get it together. Now, I think jazz is kind of diminished a little bit too, because I don't think people really listen to jazz like that today, as far as I know. I listen to a little bit of it, but I don't think most of us do. You know what I'm saying? They they really want jazz buried. And I think rap music is going to be buried if we don't get it together. Remember when Nas says hip hop is dead? I don't think he mean that it was dead completely, but I think he was saying that it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And this was back in the mid 2000s, whenever he came out with the album. And I think it's getting there. But we have to revive it to its full strength. It's up to us. This is why I'm here giving these album reviews, mainly of the 90s and a little bit of the 2000s, you know what I'm saying? And then any album after that time frame is most likely underground, you know? But, and it's sad to say that a lot of these rappers today, I'm not even going to list them, but a lot of rappers today don't quite understand how bad the rap game is going to get, or is going to get to the full disappearance. If we don't get it together and understand that these record labels out here is bogus, the rap game is going to be a thing of the past. People ain't going to really remember it. People aren't even going to know. Like, I'm going to say this one more thing and I'm going to be out of here. I was at my job, right? And I work with people that's like in their 20s, like early 20s and stuff like that. They don't have a clue what a freaking CD is. I had to explain to some of the guys there what is a CD, because they don't know what it is. They know streams though. They know digital music, but they had no idea what a CD is. And I ain't even gonna get started on cassette tapes. I had one person, I think this person was like 23, and he was like, I heard of a CD, but I don't think I've ever had one of their own. And I'm like, yeah, see, that goes to show how the transitioning of CDs to digital. Now, I heard they're trying to revive cassette tapes, but I don't think it's really going to get there. I don't think it's going to get there to their full potential, because then again, now you got to start collecting cassette tapes. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's like, I don't think it's going to work. But with that being said, I know this was probably a long video, but this was something that I had to get off my chest, because hip hop today is not even hip hop anymore. It's just straight rap. Now you got a few artists like the female rapper Rhapsody, shout out to her. She comes out with some really dope music. I like her style. And then you got, you know, J. Cole still doing this thing too. And I even include Kendrick Lamar. There's a few that's still doing their thing, but as far as the majority of these rappers, no. No. I don't feel it. And again, this is just my personal opinion. Maybe they're out there and I don't know about them. But that's it though, man. I hope he really get it together, man, when it comes to this rap industry, because it is going to die out. It's going to be a thing of the past if we don't get our act together with this industry. So, with that being said, that's it. Much love to the real folks, and I'll be on here back with another video. All right, peace out.